the world, from Auckland, New Zealand, Joseph Parker!
New Zealand, he's got real support here, not just his mum and dad who travelled over, but a huge brigade of fans from Samoa and New Zealand. They expect Joseph Parker to go back with many belts on Saturday night.
They're not here to make up the numbers. They believe that their man is coming back as not undisputed, but certainly a unified heavyweight champion there. He's not here to make up the numbers. He's here as an undefeated heavyweight champion, a reigning heavyweight champion, and they totally believe their man is going to win.
Undefeated in 24, Joseph Parker, who comes here with a real opportunity to make a name for himself on the global stage, the WBO heavyweight champion. And he looks sharp and sleek and light and ready under his trainer, Nevin Barry.
Is this working? Can you hear me on this? I can't hear anything now. I can't hear anything. I've got no program. No. Joseph Parker, his trainer Kevin Barry alongside him. There's such a tight relationship, Johnny Nelson. It reminds me of some of the relationships Brendan Ingle had with some of his fighters back in your gym. Is that a good or a bad thing when a fighter is in a crisis? I mean, ultimately, you have to box on your own.
It's about trust, it's about respect, it's about an understanding. You see these two have got that. I get the, you know, exactly, you said Brendan Ingle. Brendan Ingle had our attention. He said jump, he didn't say how high, he just jumped. I think Kevin Barry has that attention from Joseph Parker, and he's come back a different fighter. From the first time when the tournament gloves are off, Joseph Parker didn't really say much. He didn't come across as very confident. He went to Vegas, he's been in training camp, looks like a completely different fighter now. Now all of a sudden, he's come back with a spring in his step, a tongue in his head. You know, he talks like a confident fighter that really believes he's going to win. He's brought an entourage of what? 30, 40 people with him? That's how he's in his entourage. That's not think about fans that have bought tickets. Very, very confident. And listen, you always know when a fighter's trying to hustle his way through to pretend that he's tough, he knows what he's doing. But Parker, you know, I believe that he believes he can pull this off.
Okay, well, he's going to jump some rope here. He's got his mother and father here as well. We know his partner's back in New Zealand. But you say he's a different fighter, Johnny. You say he's better prepared mentally. What is the big concern in your mind? And we'll pick up on this a little bit later. What is the big concern in your mind in terms of physically how he matches Anthony Joshua?
He has athleticism, he has pace, he has speed, he has combination. He likes to come forward and push Anthony Joshua back. I think Anthony Joshua's a better offensive fighter than he's a defensive fighter. So that's why it'll suit Parker's style of fight, trying to push him back.
Okay, great stuff. Well, yes, it is a fascinating fight. A different Anthony Joshua, certainly, we think, looking at him, a very different Joseph Parker to what we've seen in the past.
Give me the mic so I can take it away.
Pass out.
Give me the mic so I can take it away.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Drink, swalla la la. Drink, swalla la la.
believe, Johnny. They absolutely believe.
You know what, Adam, I actually believe that Joseph Parker's come over supremely confident he gets the win. He's one of the only two fighters that actually think they can beat Anthony Joshua. When you get that feeling post-fight. The other one was Vladimir Klitschko. He's brought an entourage of what, 30, 40 people to back him up. You've brought your mum and dad to a fight. You don't bring them to a fight you think you're going to lose.
Lovely people, Johnny. They really are. They've really enjoyed their time over here. And I think they should be extremely proud of the way their son has conducted himself through the whole build-up, the media. He's been phenomenal. We've had 2 cameras out in camp with him at different times. I know Kevin Barry and his lovely family who look after Joe in Vegas. It's been exemplary.
Without a doubt, but you know what, Anthony Joshua's the same, and that's the feeling I got when we did the gloves are off. You had 2 gentlemen, 2 guys that didn't have to trash talk, they just want to fight. Jody Parker, looking at him physically, I think he's going to come in, he's going to be very athletic, very energetic. He's going to try and want to push Anthony Joshua to work hard the first half of the fight, so the second half of the fight he's more heavy-handed, more flat-footed, more stationary, and so therefore it's going to be about movement.
He looks a totally different shape, physique than when he turned up at the Grosvenor in London for that first press conference. What do you think he's going to come in at? Do you think he's going to come in 17 and a half or lighter?
I reckon just under 17 he'll come at. He looks solid, he's got big solid legs, solid arms, solid shoulders. I think he'll come in just under 17 because he'll be working on speed. He's got fast hands, he's got at least 6-7 different combinations that he throws in a fight. I mean 3-4 shot, 4-5 shot combinations.
So you think he's got faster hands than Joshua?
I don't think he's got a faster jab, but I think he's got a faster right hand than Joshua. Joshua's more accurate. Now what happens with Parker is when Parker gets a little bit of success, he gets over-eager, over-anxious, and he smothers his own work. He comes in square-footed, falls on his own feet, he falls into rope. He can't afford to do that with Anthony Joshua, because if he falls onto a shot of Anthony Joshua, Joshua will knock him clean out. So therefore, and even though he said Parker's never been down, he's never been hurt, he can't afford to get hit like that from Anthony Joshua, because we don't know how he'll react when he gets hit by one of Anthony Joshua's bombs.
Time with Kevin Barry. A week ago, they've been here a couple of weeks now, and he's very honest. He's like, this is going to come down to who the best fighter is. Let's not get carried away with the odds. Let's not carried away. It's what happens on the night. It's not. He doesn't want the trash talking. He's just really confident that he's got the guy to trouble Joshua's style. He said he's worked on him for a number of years. He knew this fight was going to happen. He knows there's things they can exploit in the Joshua makeup.
For Anthony Joshua, what I know as a fighter, looking at him, I think if you can push Anthony Joshua back and make him box off the back foot, he's a better offensive fighter than a defensive fighter off the back foot. That's number one. Number two, for Joseph Parker with Anthony Joshua, what he's doing now, this is what he's got to do. He's got to drag him out, but he can't stay at the end of Anthony Joshua's reach, because Anthony Joshua will pop him off. Anthony Joshua is one of the few fighters that I know can establish his distance from the first landing of a jab. So he lands a jab, gets the distance, boom, right and straight after it. Where 3 or 4 other fighters have to fall 3 or 4 jabs, say, right, I've got the distance.
Boxer mood, raiding tactics, but can he possibly back Joshua up? Because if he could do that, Joshua on the back foot is the difference.
Exactly, and that's the question.
Has he got enough strength and power to do
what we
that?
don't know. Listen, we've seen the caliber of opponents he's had him with, but he's in with a different caliber of opponent, an unbeaten, established champion, a fighter in Anthony Joshua. One thing that probably bugged me about yesterday's media attendance was Parker's own people were the ones that brought up the elbow injury. Why would you do that? You're saying he had issues with his elbows. Nobody even spoke about that. So to me, it's like, is that a backup plan in case things don't go right? His elbows work, he'll be training. We tried to.
Weren't they saying that was because of the sort of sub-performances against the likes of Huey?
You wouldn't bring it up as a fighter. You wouldn't bring it up. You wouldn't make excuses for. You wouldn't say it's going to this injury or that injury.
You talked to Kevin, and he said that's in the past, and the elbows are. He's injury-free. Is the key.
But Kevin brought this up in the press conference. David Higgins brought this up in the press conference, and to me, I'm thinking, if things don't turn out right, let's just see after the fight. If he doesn't win, let's see if this is leaked out, because I didn't like that. I thought you have no reason to drop this in.
Matt Jackie was saying, you know, would he be happy to be the bridesmaid in this fight, to give a terrific performance, and even in defeat, he can still be in the mix? Or it doesn't look like it, that the team are here for him to come and win. That's what it looks like, that they want badly to win.
They want the win. This man is the Anthony Joshua of the Southern Hemisphere. He's a superstar. You know, he's not used to failure. He's got a crowd with him that really believe in their man. He's got a crowd that think they can't see it going any other way, so they're thinking their boy is going to create history. Now, if he loses and he puts up a good performance, it puts him on the world map. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody's watching this fight. Everybody's got an eye on this fight to see how he, because the winner of this potentially goes on to fight Deontay Wilder to unify all the belts. Potentially. So that's why he knows everybody's watching this.
How important a part is Kevin Barry going to play in the corner?
Most important, because you need someone in the corner that you trust when things are hard. You want to go back and say, right, tell me what I've got to do. Instinctively, you can do what you do when the bell goes, but when things go hard, you need someone that's got insight. Everybody needs a good corner, man, to say, right, this is what you need to do. Take your time, you're smuggling your work, throw a jab, throw a couple more right hand. That's what you need. Kevin Barry knows this boy inside out. He knows how to motivate him.
Joseph Parker just taking his stance for the photographers. He looks so happy, doesn't he? So relaxed, so at ease, and he's got such an important fight.
I heard that for the taking. I heard it got these up going crazy. Yeah, I treat you like a lady. Till you burned out cremation. Make it create Wu-Tang. Throw that back bouquet. Call me and I can get it juicy. I can tell you gone off the doors. Careful, mama, why what you say? You talking to me like you new baby. You talking like you trying to do things. Now that party got her running like she Usain, baby. You made me drown in it, ooh, touche, baby. I'm carrying that water, Bobby Boucher, baby. And you know I'm slaughter like I'm Jason. Busted, why you got it on safety? Wipe away, sit on ground like I probably shouldn't be around. Cause you get wild. You looking like it's nothing that you won't do, but you won't do. Hey girl, that's when I talk.
When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. Wow.
Thank you very much indeed. We are live from St David's Hall in Cardiff on Sky Sports News right now. Let's make some noise, everyone. Joseph Parker, welcome to Wales. This could be a very special place in your life. How has your welcome been thus far?
Well, firstly, thank you all for coming out tonight. It's great to see you all, to support all the fighters. Since we've been here, we've been welcomed with open arms, and everyone's been very good and very nice to us, so we feel very welcomed, and we're blessed to be here.
It could be a Joshua crowd, let's be honest, but will it be a fair crowd? Is that what you expect?
I expect a good crowd, a fair crowd, even though there's a lot of people supporting Joshua, and there are a lot of people from here, but we got a lot of support from back home as well here, so it's good to see all my family and friends here, and we got some support here as well.
You're dressed all in black. Joseph, have you prepared like an all black? Is it going to be an all black style performance on Saturday night?
The All Blacks always do great here in Wales, so I'm looking forward to keeping that record clean.
Well, Warren Gatlin's done all right, hasn't he, for you? He's done okay. What have you made of Anthony Joshua in the build-up to this? You told me a couple of days ago he looked scared, he looked unhappy. Why is that? What's your guess?
I think some of the things our team has said has got under his skin. I'm not unhappy. He looks a little angry and a little tense. So I guess everyone's different in how they approach a fight. We're quite relaxed and calm, and we're just, we're excited, but it's a controlled excitement.
He talks a lot about the Vladimir Klitschko fight, as though the fact that he's beaten Klitschko means he can beat you. Is it really that simple?
No, Klitschko's a great fighter and a great champion who we respect, but Klitschko's Klitschko. I'm Joseph Parker. I'm a different story altogether.
What's the big difference?
I'm young, I'm hungry, I'm fit, I'm strong. I got my speed back. I'll show you on Saturday.
Is this about speed or about power? And have you got both if you need it?
Speed, power, skills, techniques, all of the above.
Okay, one last thing. What are you going to do in terms of acclimatizing yourself to the Principality Stadium? Will you go and have a bit of time there to get used to it? It is your first stadium fight. People will ask the question whether you can deal with the atmosphere.
Yeah, we're going to check it out. We want to make some time to check it out. Just go there and stand in the ring and appreciate the place, and look forward to putting on a great display.
Okay, one last thought. If Anthony Joshua, and he is in the building, wants a little message to him in front of this crowd here tonight.
See you soon. Let's go to war.
Joseph Parker, thank you very much and good luck. Let's go to war.
We're going to go to war, Johnny Nelson. The battle cry.
Man, that's nervous.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I think it looks like a man who's prepared diligently, who's going to enjoy his opportunity, and I think it will come down to whether he's good enough.
That's right. It's down to that. I don't think it's about. You're right. It's just going to be down to who is the best fighter on the night. This is not a pushover for Anthony Joshua. It's not a pushover for Joseph Parker.
It's annoyed a lot of people here, actually, I've been talking to, amongst the press especially, that the bookies have sort of almost written him off, and people are not seeing this as a tough fight for Joshua. Look, Joshua had the hard night against Vladimir Klitschko. He was very, very close to defeat against Carlos Takam by, I think, his own admission, and certainly a lot of people at ringside and who watched it thought it was a flatter performance. Yes, he won the rounds. Yes, it was a decent defence, but it wasn't at his very best.
No, he wasn't, but listen, the reason why people write him off and don't give him the respect he deserves, because they don't know him. They don't know about him. And in the Southern Hemisphere, he's a superstar. He is the Anthony Joshua. Anywhere past that, they don't know him. So win or lose in this situation, everybody will know who Joseph Parker is. And so if they know who Joseph Parker is and what he's capable of doing, then all of a sudden he'll get the respect he deserves. Carlos Takam was another one. Nobody respected him or gave him a chance because they didn't know him.
How did you assess that performance from Joshua? Yeah.
I thought that AJ learned a lot mentally for that, because what happens is when your opponent pulls out, you're deflated. Physically, mentally, you think, oh, because it's all changed. And so you just don't give that opponent the same respect you would a normal opponent, because usually you eat, sleep, drink your opponent, think about him all the time. Someone new pulled in. So I don't knock Anthony Joshua, he's still got rid of Takam, who's a tough unit.
Joseph Parker going to see some of the fans. So friendly, the team, the family. It's great to see that. They're two elite sportsmen and they're dealing with business in the right way. And it feels, Johnny, as though we're in a bit of a new era of the modern generation, the respect.
I'll tell you how it works out. This has always been the case, and all of a sudden bad boys, when they come on the scene, are the one that get the crowd going. So all of a sudden more people want to be bad boys. So back in the day when Ollie was around, the bad boy was Sonny Liston. And they were all scared of Sonny Liston. Ollie came in, he was loud, he was brash, he was mouthy, he went on. You'll get bad boys coming through. Mike Tyson came through, a bad boy, you either loved him or hate him. Chris Eubanks was the same guy. And this is what happens. But now, the deal is, if you're a gent, if you're a nice guy, it works. Tyson Fury played the bad boy, and so that's why we know who Tyson Fury is. So there's a few bad boys around, and they get your attention.
It's funny, Dillian White was the sort of bad boy, wasn't he? And he's changed a little bit. He's going through it a different way, but he's you know,
he's still a bad boy, all right.
But it's an interesting way that he's slightly sort of adapted.
Grown up, he's just grown up. And Deontay Wilder, he's happy to play the bad man, you know, because he doesn't care to say exactly what's in his heart and in his head.
He's the one with a huge charisma, Wilder.
Yeah, without a doubt. So what you're seeing now with Parker, what you see with Anthony Joshua, this is what our sport's about. This is what puts our sport on the map. This is where people, corporate companies, blue chip companies want to get involved in our sport, because of this kind of representation, and that's what drags the grandmothers, your sisters, your kids into boxing and think, I like that, I want to watch that, and this is a great advert for our sport.
And it's got more appeal, hasn't it, than both the Kubrat Pulev or Carlos Takam fights, because Joseph Parker is undefeated in 24, the WBO champion. He's also younger than Anthony Joshua. Yes, not everybody knows him outside the trade, but I tell you what, this is why he wants to take the titles home. Not just a pride thing, but he wants globally to be recognised as the best heavyweight on the planet.
This is his career-defining fight. Regardless of him winning world title or not, this is his career-defining fight, because this is the biggest fight in his life. This is where all eyes are on him. All eyes will be assessing him, discrediting him, disrespecting him, letting him slip through the radar. All eyes on him. So this is his chance to show and say, this is what I can do.
Johnny, I asked you a little bit earlier, whether he'll be good enough. That's the key, That was what wins the fight, not the height, not the bookies, whether physically and mentally Joseph Parker is good enough to do it. Is the stage important? The 78,000 at the Principality. Kevin Barry says he's not going to get paid. There's no sign of it at all. What about when he walks in and the AJ fans are going to be making the lion's share of the noise, and then Joshua comes in and, is that going to get to him at all? Will it be different?
It'll get to him a little bit. It's how he handles it. Now, they're going to have to go through certain aspects of learning. So for Joseph Parker, he's never been in that situation before. So this is one aspect of his learning. Is it going to affect his game? Is it going to affect his concentration? We don't know. He doesn't know until he gets in there, because nobody can envision that. Nothing prepares you for anything like that in life at all.
It certainly didn't affect Carlos Takam, did it? No. But then we went to see Takam over in Noisy-le-Grand 10 days or so before the fight. I mean, I think we virtually told him he was fighting Anthony Joshua, wasn't it? He was biking in the mountains. He was fit, but he wasn't box fit. He had 10 days to get himself into shape. He absolutely had nothing to lose. Didn't face him.
That's when you're on a suicide mission. That's when you think to yourself, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. Nobody knows I am. No one expects me to win. So you go out there and give it your all. He knows everybody is watching him. Everybody's expecting to win. So the mental approach is going to be completely different. But what is...
Look at him.
Eddie's so shy.
He doesn't like a camera, does he?
He's so shy.
He's unbelievable.
But Parker's done the same thing. What he's doing is he's milking the crowd. He's getting involved with to say, look, I'm not intimidated by the home crowd fans. He's happy to go and shake hands with them all, happy to go and mix with them all.
He doesn't mind being moved by 90,000 at Wembley. He bounces straight back into the people, doesn't he?
He's got the sharpest mouth in the game. That's one thing for sure.
I tell you what, he's done so well, hasn't he, to revitalise boxing, and also with Anthony Joshua. The fact is, he's become a superstar. He's transcended the sport. He's, how many times have he on Graham Norton now? The show a couple of times. He was out jostling Tom Hanks, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's had that crossover appeal, and there's not many fighters that have the ability to do that, have that crossover appeal. Anthony Joshua is one of those ones, and he's had to grow into that form, because away from the camera, he likes to be private, he likes to be with his mates.
You've got to get the microphone up a little bit, because the noise in here is phenomenal, isn't it? And it's terrific to see, people have finished work and they're coming in and they've got a chance not just to meet Eddie Hearn, but to meet the proper fighters. Joseph Parker, and AJ will spend time with him.
One thing I think which is really good about something like this is people that can't afford to get a ticket, people that didn't manage to get a ticket, have got an opportunity to get up close and personal with the fighters that are taking part in this show, and which to me is most important. There's young kids in here that probably won't be able to stay at that light, or their parents won't let them go there. To me, I like that.
And it was a great couple of hours ago when Joshua Buatsi came and joined us, and he said one person shouted Buatsi, and for him that's a massive thing, isn't it? And if he's in this position in 2-3 years, he'll remember nights like this.
I remember when I first met Harold Bonner Gray, and I was on a bus, on the top of a bus, and I saw him in the street, and he was doing a boxing exhibition. I was in the crowd, I got off the bus, joined them for the boxing exhibition. Brendan said, does anybody want to hit him where they want, they can't hit him back. That was my first introduction to be inspired to say, I'm going to have a go at this. Now, there might be a young boy or girl in this crowd that's been inspired by this. Just one.
That's what's different now, isn't it? We had Prince Nassim Hamed, Ricky Hatton, Joe Calzaghe, Lennox Lewis, Carl Froch. We had exactly. Isn't that it's like Christmas has come up. It's brilliant. And yeah, there was sort of one or two, and obviously Joshua is the main attraction, but there's so many now out there that, you know, there are idols everywhere, and of course Katie Taylor in women's boxing, Carissa Shields over in the States. The sport has never been better.
All shapes and sizes, there's something for everyone, boys and girls, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, and that's why our sport is in a healthy position.
And they want to get in the gym, certainly.
They want to get, even if they don't want to fight, they want to train like a fighter. They want to do what fighters do, wear fighters gear, wear the shorts, wear the boots, wear the bandages. That's what they want to do, and that's how popular it's become. There is no sport that tests you on every level, mentally as well as physically, bar boxing. Even if you don't want to fight, even if you want to get in the gym.
It was interesting in the queues earlier when we walked in that there were a lot of kids, weren't there? You know, some of them amateurs with their club on the back of their tracksuit, and they were just like kids in the sweet shop. They wanted to meet their heroes. And listen, some of it might be Joe Cordina, for others it might be Anthony Crolla. You know, they all love AJ, obviously, but it's a chance for them to get autographs, to get selfies, and you didn't get this a while ago.
No, you didn't. The thing is, they've made it gainable. So these youngsters will know somebody that knows someone that knows them and think, you know what, Anthony Joshua is not just someone that's in the box. He's somebody that actually, I know somebody like him, I could be like him. So all of a sudden things become attainable, things become possible. So that's why they can then touch success and think, I can actually do that. And that's what Anthony wanted, AJ wanted from people to get, and other fighters want that as well.
But still we get this party atmosphere, don't we? I know people didn't enjoy some of the trade, didn't enjoy the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather build-up, but it was a massive event, and you know, it was drama, wasn't it? It was a narrative, and I think, you know, people want to get engaged in the stories.
They do, they're making it palatable for everybody. So remember, yeah, the strong people that said, you know, like, knew the sport inside out, they weren't happy about it. But why was it one of the highest selling viewed sporting events ever? Because the masses wanted it.
Across the martial arts and boxing worlds, and because people wanted to see what happened. It was the unpredictable of the fact, could Conor McGregor do anything to Floyd Mayweather, who'd been unbeaten the whole of his career? And now we've got two unbeatens in the boxing world in front of another 78,000. We had 80,000 with Froch and Groves, as he reminds us constantly. We had 90,000 then for Joshua and Klitschko, almost 80 for Carlos Takam. Again, this is unprecedented, unbelievable, and you know, they're going to keep coming. If it's Tyson Fury, if it's Deontay Wilder, you know, if Joshua comes through this against Parker, we will get 4, 5, 6 more nights like this.
Well, without a doubt, and you know what, still it's such a shame that Deontay Wilder has not rocked up. You never know, he might surprise and rock up, but it's such a shame. It's such a wasted opportunity, because for him and him alone,
they love him.
They love it. He's more popular here than he is in America. What, 270 million population in America? He should be a multi-millionaire. He should be a household name. But instead, for a country like England, Anthony Joshua is more popular than him. He earns more money than him, and it's just a way. So I think the powers to be over there are the ones that Wilder should be looking at to say, you know what, you guys are doing something wrong. Why am I not as popular as Anthony Joshua?
Well, he loved it at Wembley when he came to work with us for the Klitschko fight. He was terrific, of course, in battling through against Luis Ortiz, the girls waiting for a sight of Anthony Joshua. I know my daughters absolutely love him. It's great, isn't it?
It is good, and I think AJ handles it very well as well. He's very down to earth, very grounded. He'll laugh when he leaves, and laugh, talk serious when he's talking to you, and he'll always have a message for the youngsters coming through to say, look, I'm nothing special. You can do exactly what I'm doing.
The great thing is, when he got that microphone after Klitschko, and he said, you know what, I'm just trying, and that, I think, you know, it was brilliant.
It makes all the difference, and I think in doing that, he has that appeal, because can you imagine a child's parents seeing that, thinking, you know what, that's the kind of role model I want my child to look up to.
I think it's really great for the sport. Anthony Joshua will be in here in a few minutes' time, and this place will go berserk at the St David's Hall here in Cardiff.
I always wonder if you ask yourself, is it just me? Is it just me? Or is this so good I shouldn't have to for free? Is it just me?
So Cardiff, we have met the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. Now time to meet the man who owns the other 3 world heavyweight titles that are on the line on Saturday night. His record as a professional is a perfect one. 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. He's an Olympic gold medalist and the reigning and defending WBA Super, IBF and IBO heavyweight champion of the world. From Watford, it's AJ Anthony Joshua.
I've earned this heavyweight, this leather belt and gold plate. And we use the weight of expectation to silence the voices of consternation. Inside your head is the greatest fight. Because there is always shadow where there is light.
What a reception for Anthony Joshua. Here we are live at St David's Hall in Cardiff, and over 1,000 people singing his name as he makes his way out towards the stage. Big smiles on the face of Anthony Joshua as he makes his way towards the ring. Cameras from around the world watching his every move as he gets his picture taken for all the websites, for the daily newspapers around the world. Such is the interest in the phenomena that Anthony Joshua has become. And we'll see him working out very soon in the ring with his trainer, Robert McCracken. Just a few days to go now, of course, until his heavyweight showdown with Joseph Parker. Parker got a great reception when he got into the ring, but I think this will be something a little bit special as well, as AJ makes his way into the middle. And there you go. So the talking almost over. Not very long to go now before we get into the fight itself. Anthony Joshua has been cool as a cucumber most of the time. He's had 1 or 2 psychological bombs aimed his way over the last few days. But certainly in terms of fight preparation now, when it comes to this fight, we've been saying over the last few days, haven't we? Physically, he is looking in absolutely fantastic shape. And Johnny Nelson, he looks ready to go.
Looks little waist, nice and trim, just going through the motions. Yes, he understands how much is on the line here. We saw Joseph Parker earlier on, he was smiling, laughing, talking to the crowd. I sense a moodiness about Anthony Joshua, which I like, because the stakes are high here. I don't want it to be Joseph Parker's mate. I don't want it to be Mr. Nice Guy. I want it to be Mr. Nasty for this, because the stakes are very, very high. Looking at him now, he looks on point. He looks sharp. Not as sharp as Parker, but he looks strong. Look at the side of him, look at the length of the arms. He's got all what you'd want in this, all the attributes you'd want in this kind of fight.
A lot's been said, hasn't it, about the way that his mood will change, because he's in a different position now. He's the man with 3 World Championship belts. He's going after a 4th. There is so much expectation about him now. His mindset will be changing because his role in the heavyweight division is changing as well.
He is now the hunted. Now the difference between a lot of fighters, and they can't handle this, they find it hard to deal with. When you've got something to chase, you're the hunter. You know what your aim is, you know what your map is, you know what your plan is. When you're the hunted, everybody and anybody and everybody in the jungle is watching you. Everybody wants a piece of you. So you've not got one person chasing you down, as in Joseph Parker. You've got other people chasing down. Deontay Wilder, other heavyweights around there want a piece of you. So all of a sudden you're thinking, who do I watch? Your motivation is completely different. So for Anthony Joshua now, that is your responsibility of becoming a champion. And this is how you stay champion. Because the champion has got to prepare himself in 3 months for anybody that has been watching him for years and beat them and box anywhere and do that. And that's the responsibility he's got now on his shoulders.
A sea of eyes around St David's Hall, everybody on their feet, eager to have a close look at Anthony Joshua, and such is the interest in the man these days. Wherever he goes, he is mobbed. People want to have pictures with him, and he's always happy to oblige. He's very much a man of the people. He's very much a champion of the people. It's no wonder that so many people want to come here tonight and see him.
Fraser, I think he handles it well. I think he does a good job dealing with it. He's one of those guys that takes it in his stride. He's very relaxed. After here, he'll be the last man out of here. Everybody who want to stand and do autographs, take pictures, be all right with him. That's Anthony Joshua. No other fighter is capable of doing that but Muhammad Ali. He was the only other guy that did that, was happy to talk to the crowd, be a people person. This is Anthony Joshua. We'll sense what mood he's in, depending on how long he stays afterwards, depending on how many pictures he takes, how he is with the crowd. We'll sense it then. It might say he's nervous, or it might say he just wants to get down to business.
Well, lots been said as well about Kevin Barry and his role within Parker's camp and the experience that he had, obviously, with David Tua, and the fact that he was involved in heavyweight world championship fights. Anthony Joshua, though, has got Robert McCracken. Now, Robert has been there, done it, bought the t-shirt, certainly with Carl Frost as well in particular. How big a role does he have to play in this fight?
He totally respects Robert McCracken, and that's what you want. You want Robert McCracken to be the person you look at and think, you know what, no matter what you tell me to do, I'm doing it. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to say how high. I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to do it. When you've got that kind of respect for your coach, you depend upon him 100%. And that unit has worked well with Anthony Joshua. It worked well with Carl Frost. It's worked well with most of the England squad. Most of the fighters that have come up here have worked through Robert McCracken. He has an ability to create a relationship with these fighters, to me, which I say is very, very special. The only person I knew that could do that was Brendan Ingle.
Well, the gloves are going to be going on very shortly, and we'll get an idea of just a little taster of the power and the pace of the punches of Anthony Joshua. He doesn't like to show off too much when it comes to these sorts of events. Just give the fans a little something to have a look at and get them excited. But this is where we see the devastating pace that Anthony Joshua has. We've talked about it many a time. It's not always the power of the punches that beats the opposition, it's the speed.
Speed creates power. Now, he's a big unit, so if he hits you slow, it's going to hurt. If he hits you fast with that same power, it's going to take you off your feet. And Anthony Joshua has that. When I saw him in the Institute of Sport, I could not believe what this guy was generating, what he was capable of doing.
We'll see very much more from Anthony Joshua very soon. We'll also be speaking to the man himself, but the gloves are going on. The punches will be flying soon. Plenty more to come here from Cardiff.
That's right. Catch me in the ride outside. Yeah, my life is no lie. You're joking about that's right. Yeah, we don't go midnight. The one who's your life. I've been clapping all night. Clapping all cool night. Belly me when they ready me. Yeah, I'll be to the blood clots in me. You can belly me when they ready me. I'll time my up to the blood clots in me. You don't want to stay alive. If you want the beef to 45. Yo, you won't stay alive. Riding by a drive, yo. Me no fear no one. Me no fear no one. Cause the drum will spray. Me no fear no one. Cool to find the one when I'm here to stay. Me no fear no one. Me no fear no one. Cause the drum will spray. Me no fear no one. Cool to find the one when I'm here to stay. Me no fear no one. Me no fear no one. Cause the drum will spray. Me no fear no one. Cool to find the one when I'm here to stay. Me no fear no one. Me no fear no one. Cause the drum will spray. Me no fear no one. Cool to find the one when I'm here to stay.
Ring, ring, since I'm getting money, I'm the in thing. Bling, bling, diamonds in my rollie got me squinting. 6 figures, I'm rolling.
money, let me hear you shout pay. I'm the type of taking misses on a date. Thought it was a rental when it's in a new place. Screaming lot to the world, there ain't nothing to debate. You ain't making money like me, no, no.
What an atmosphere in here, Eddie. I did see you having a few selfies with the fans earlier, but now all the attention on AJ.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, this is only the AJ show. You know, we can create this kind of atmosphere, these kind of numbers. Anthony Joshua looks absolutely primed and ready to go. He looks lean, he looks light, he looks powerful, he looks fast. And I'm so excited. And Joseph Parker looks so relaxed, like they're on holiday almost. They have no fear at all. This is going to be a wonderful heavyweight fight between two young, fearless, undefeated world champions.
Wonderful for the sport. Just quickly, Eddie, what about the crowd and the fans that have come out and get so close to their heroes?
Yeah, and you know, boxing is probably one of the most accessible sports in the world in terms of to the talent. But you don't get this. You can't go and meet Premier League footballers. You can't go and get signatures and talk to them up close. You can with Anthony Joshua and all these fighters. They've been mixing with the crowds. We've got a couple of thousand in tonight. We've got 5,000 at the weigh-in on Friday. And more importantly, we've got 78,000 at the Millennium Stadium this Saturday for a huge heavyweight unification fight.
You ain't making money like me, no. You ain't making money like me,
Because this crowd are making a huge noise. They were making a lot of noise for Joseph Parker a little bit earlier. But Cardiff, what about some noise for Anthony Joshua? AJ, come on, that is one heck of a reception.
Oh, unbelievable, unbelievable. It's bigger than last time. Boxing's growing forever. You know, everyone's behind it, and it's a real honour. It's a golden era right now, and I'm happy to be part of it, man.
We talk about the hunger that you've got for success and the hunger that you've got to win and win world championship belts. But when you come here and you see a crowd like this, and you'll be meeting the fans later on and saying hello to them, when you get a chance to actually speak to people, is that what makes it real for you?
Yeah, I like the interaction part, you know. Sometimes there's people that I want to meet and so on and so forth. And, you know, a minute of your time means the world to some people. It means the world to me. So I do my best as well. So, yeah, for sure. At some stage, I'd love to get some people up from the crowd in the ring and maybe do some pads with someone or something like that.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love that. Now, Joseph Parker was in here a little bit earlier on. He's looking in good shape, as you would expect. He was saying he can't wait to get into the ring with you. He says he wants to have a war. Is that good news for you?
Yeah, it is. It's good news. But it's silly. It's boxing. So I'm hearing that in boxing, all you need is a good chin and a right hand, but we've been working on finesse, technique, counter-punching, so I hope Joseph Parker falls into my booby traps, because I'm going to set him up for some power shots as well. So, yeah, they'll be in for a war, a bit of blood, sweat, and hopefully cheers from our corner.
And you want to try and develop every time you get in the ring. Are we going to see a bit of a different Anthony Joshua this time around?
Yeah, definitely. So physically, I've always tried to prepare myself the best way. But not only that now, I'm starting to believe in myself, which is important. So I'm believing in my ability, I'm focused, I understand it's a boxing match, and people respect like clinical boxing, so I've definitely been working on that. And that should see me through to victory. And it's not just about Saturday, it's the long term, so we're definitely working round by round, camp by camp, and every camp I do honestly aim to improve. So let's look out for Saturday night and see the perks that we've been working on in training camp.
And because of that, is your mindset changing? Because 11 months ago, you were the young, hungry lion. Vladimir Klitschko was the man with the reputation. The roles are switched now. The hunter has now become the hunter.
Yeah, but you need to still keep that challenger's mindset. You know how it goes. I'm still a challenger in my head. Sometimes I try not to be seen with the belts too much. I let other people do the enjoyment because I've got to keep that challenger mindset, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge with Parker. And just because now, as you said, I'm the hunted, it's not time to put my feet up and relax. You know, I'm out there defending my throne Saturday night.
But it's a great position to be in because there could be some even bigger fights coming in the not too distant future.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. Saturday night is where it's happening.
That's all you're thinking about, isn't it?
Saturday night is big enough. Saturday night is massive. It's big enough as it is. The undercard, you know, all the undercard fighters as well on the show. Everyone's looking phenomenal. We've got the Welsh Wizard, my teammate Joe Cordina from these ways. You know, I'm really looking forward to watching him box. So good luck to him as well.
British boxing in a very healthy state. Just finally, look at these people and give them one last message. What can they expect to see here in Cardiff from you on Saturday?
I'm not too hyped, but I want to hear that. Oh, Anthony, yeah. That's hype.
There you go. AJ's army is here in full effect. Anthony, we wish you the very best of luck. We'll see you very soon. Thank you very much indeed. Anthony Joshua, loving it here in Cardiff.
Joshua, confident, talking to the crowd, loving the crowd, and just wants them to sing. And look at this is something different too.
Again, something different, making it a people's sport, and this is where he feels most comfortable, this is where he feels most at home. This is what most fighters don't do, and this is an example that can set to a lot of fighters. But it's an even balance, it's not an easy balance to be able to switch off from what you're here for and to be a people person.
What a chance for some of the local clubs, the Splot, ABC, a couple in there as well that we were talking to earlier from Landelrin and Penguin Boxing Club. It's a dream come true to share the ring with the world heavyweight champion and getting autographs and maybe getting a few tips as well.
You inspire one, just one individual. You never know, 5-10 years time, each young man can say I was in Cardiff when Anthony Joshua was trying to unify the titles, and I got in the ring, he signed a glove to me, and as far as I was concerned, I was going to be world champion from that day on. That's the kind of message inspiration fighters need and want.
When he beat Charles Martin, won that world title for the first time at the O2, I remember he spent maybe 45-50 minutes around the ring apron afterwards talking to fans, and that was he was setting a difference, wasn't he? Because people just haven't done that before. People in that position.
That's what makes him different. That's what makes him a household name. That's what makes him approachable by most people. And remember, you got to pay the piper when you play that tune, and he's happy to do that. He knows he's got to commit himself to this for maybe 5-10 years. He said he's 38 years old, and then he can have a private life, do what he's got to do. But right now, he's public property, and he knows his job.
Johnny, people absolutely love Frank Bruno. He was a real champion and adored the relationship he had with Harry Carpenter that just sort of fueled everything he did. And maybe the defeats as well, that people got behind him, and it was a real swell. But Joshua's done it a bit differently. He's become a world champion earlier, and now he's riding this wave. So there's every bet that he can go deeper and deeper into the casual audience.
Without a doubt. I mean, how he does it, to me, yeah, it's Frank Bruno all over again, doing it how he's getting around it. But to me, I just think, I like that. Frank was one of those guys that he had that crossover appeal. He's one of those guys, he's articulate, he's a businessman, he's an inspirer, and that's why, again, it just makes it so busy. And press from all over the world have come to see this. What has he done? Whenever we have a British heavyweight champion where the press from all over the world come over and expect him and believe him to be the best in the world. American press from all over Europe, all over Asia, anywhere. They come to see Anthony Joshua.
Well, we were in New York, weren't we, for Wilder and Ortiz, and well, of course it was a great fight. You didn't get anywhere near this sort of buzz on fight week.
And that's what I'm saying, and I think Deontay Wilder was probably he's frustrated about that. And you know what, it might have been sibling rivalry with two brothers, but this is what he's got to learn from. This is why he should have been here. This is why I'm sure he was inspired when he saw Wembley. I thought, how's this guy done this 90,000 people? What is going on? Is that possible? And that's what I'm saying, that's the frustration and the misunderstanding that Deontay Wilder's going through. But this could be him in the States if he's packaged right. But I just don't know. I don't know who is behind him, but Deontay Wilder, this should be him.
Freddie Cunningham, he's the quiet man behind the scene, very bright, young, intelligent business manager to Anthony Joshua. He's worked it so well, hasn't he, the last couple of years, corporately as well. He's got the big sponsors. He's set, isn't he, now?
He's a young man with a finger on the pulse. He knows what to do. He knows what the youth want. He knows he gets it. And you've got to be of that age. You've got to be of that circle. You've got to be of that era. And so fortunately, it's a young team, that professional.
And Freddie taking the pictures as well. Great to see.
Now, listen, there's no time for ego. Everybody has a job in AJ's camp, and everybody does their job right. His cousin's doing security. Freddie's manager's doing everything the manager has to do. He has his friends.
Benga, Freddie, Skins, Kingy, they're great guys on the Andy Bell.
All these guys are there, they have a job to do, and they do not deviate from that job. Now, they're not hanging on his coattails, because there's many times these guys are doing their own thing, and if you want to do a picture, they'll say, no, they're not over here. They want to do it on their own, to say, look, I'm not hanging on his coattails, I'm doing my own thing. So I like that.
And they think of something different, getting the kids into the ring, as well as going to mix with those over there. And he loves the young amateurs, doesn't he? He loves the fact that people are becoming inspired. Young kids are getting into the gyms more and more. They've seen what Team GB's done in Sheffield, and it really has just filtered through. The Olympics were big, weren't they, in 2012? And then we see again in Rio, a huge number of British fighters going over. Joe Joyce doing so well. Now he's turned pro. It cycles, and it's really hot.
He was one of them. He can relate to these youngsters, the good kids and the bad kids. He gets it. So as far as he's concerned, you put a microphone in front of him, all he wants to do is pass a message and say, look, come on, I'm no different from you. We can all do this. It's everything, all that. Even if it's a front, it's a great front, because at least he's fighting somebody.
You said Harold Graham was your hero. Do you remember waiting around to meet those that you looked up to?
In Sheffield, Harold Graham, I remember he had Sheffield in the palm of his hand. And I don't know why, but it seemed all the grandmothers and mothers loved Harold Graham. God knows what it was.
And they do Anthony here as well.
And they do Anthony as well. And some fighters have got that magic about them where they just want to get close to you, just want to get to know you, they just want to be involved in you, they just want to hear your story. His story, you could write films about Anthony Joshua's story. You know, you couldn't create a script any better than that. You know, and I'm quite sure eventually down the line, this will be something that will be suggested, because from where he's been to where he is now, top of the mountain.
Well, the film star looks, Johnny.
Well, unfortunately, yes, he has the film star look, and he's got everything. But he'll want for nothing once he walks away from this game, because he'll say, you know what, I did everything possible, but to the best of my ability, I was right with people, and people were right with me. And that's a great step.
This is my favourite bit, when he goes over and he'll want to see the the real fans that have come out. They've waited for hours, and Anthony desperate to get to them. He doesn't want to do any more interviews, does he? Look where we Gareth A. Davis trying to get an interview. He just wants to see the people.
Big smile on his face, mixing it with everybody. He's going to get into the crowd. That's good. That is really good. Happy to just cool down here. Told him what he
He just asked Eddie whether he needs to come up and see us, and I said to Eddie, no. You know what? He wants to go and talk to the fans, and that's where he should be.
That's where he should be. He's a people fan. That's why these people have come around. What time are we on now? It's 9:30. These people have been here since 6 o'clock. They've hung around. There must be what? At least about 500 people here, still hanging about. Half of them have gone because they didn't know they'd get this opportunity. And they'll make sure every one of them gets a picture, an autograph, a handshake, a kiss on the cheek, and that's what it's all about.
There has to be security as well around him now. He has got a fight to prepare for, a fight to win, and as much as he loves that, it's serious business. And there's been an attitude change, I think, a little bit. Maybe since Carlos Takam, you know, they've restructured the training a bit. He's going to come in lighter. I think he realizes how serious this now is. Parker for unification, possible Wilder Fury ahead. These are the crunch couple of years in Anthony Joshua's career.
They're the most important years. If he's talking about boxing until he's 38 years old for another 10 years, or maybe being involved in boxing another 10 years. I hope he finishes on a high. I hope after he's quenched his thirst with, I don't know when they're doing 2 hour fight, is there a bigger fight out there for him? Are there more intriguing fights out there for him? We don't know. We don't know if it'll happen, but if he unifies the titles, he's created history. That's all he needs to do.
And we know there's a whole mix of other fighters as well. We talked about Povetkin and Price, Dillian White's performance last weekend as well. You've got David Hay and Tony Bellew fighting on May the 5th. That's almost been forgotten at the moment, but we'll be concentrating on that in 2 or 3 weeks' time. You know, there's so much in this glamorous division.
Let's not kid ourselves. David Hay has got an eye on this. He's hoping if he gets through...
Of course he has.
If he gets through Tony Bellew, this is what he's going to be shouting up next. And because he'll be thinking, that's my big payday, that's my big catch out. Can I shock the world or will I go out on a high? So David Hay, domestically, there's still big fights here for this young man. And he knows how to play, he plays it well. You know what happens with this? He'll do this all night. It's his management, Freddie, or his boys. They're the ones that say, come on AJ, let's go. They're the ones that are pulling him away, saying, I've had enough of this. And he'll do it all night, he's happy with that.
Some of the TV stations from New Zealand are just alongside us. I don't think they can believe what they're seeing here.
They're completely baffled and they're thinking, wow, this is a different level. If they thought Joseph Parker was a man, you know, now they've seen how it's done for real. Welcome to the real world.
In the kitchen with a lot of white.
You certainly had that many people turning up to see you fight, didn't you?
You know what? I never got that kind of love when I boxed. Never. Get out! Give us our money back!
I love the way he just takes the phone and he's so at ease with it and makes sure that everyone gets their individual picture. I think, you know what, if he didn't have a fight to win on Saturday night, he'd be here for 6-7 hours.
Yeah, without a doubt, and that's why this is where his boys need to take over. So right, enough is come on out of here, get out of there. Just nice to see, really nice to see. His job has been done.
Let's wrap it up here on the stream, Johnny. Just a final word about everything you've seen tonight and the impression again that Anthony Joshua has made to the fans and the young amateurs, and as he moves forward. Have we gone up a notch?
Completely. I think it's shown the New Zealand press, the world press, this is how it's done. If you want to be like me, you've got to be prepared to do this, put the work in, commit yourself to the fans. So again, everybody's learning a massive lesson.
My thanks to Matthew Macklin, to Johnny Nelson, to Eddie Hearn, everyone that's spoken on the stream tonight. We'll leave you with pictures of Anthony Joshua doing what he does best, in with the fans. Thursday, it's the undercard presser. Friday, the weigh-in. And Saturday night, 78,000 at the Principality. And these lucky few will get their pictures, their memories to take home as the Anthony Joshua journey continues. But remember, it's a massive unification fight that he has in front of him, and that's what's important to him and his team. This can't possibly go on all night.